Why does shaming in our childhood have such a lasting impact? Statements like, "You're such a crybaby," "Stop crying," "Big boys don't cry," or "You're so wet," "You're being pathetic." I mean, as I say those things, I apologize if I'm triggering anybody, and I can feel my own heart. I could cry. Ironically, I could cry for everyone that's had that said to them in their early years. What does this tell us, and what does it do? Why am I talking about this in terms of health? You know, why isn't this a psychologist saying this or a psychotherapist saying this? Well, I've got a body psychotherapy background too. So because it's teaching us about our emotion and whether we can have it or not, which is ridiculous because all emotions are valid, and it's annihilatory. It fills us with shame. If you haven't seen the other video we've been doing on shame recently, then I suggest you jump across and watch that one, because to understand the powerful toxic effect of shame in the physiology and chronic health. So if you want to see that link, jump across right now. Every child will cry. Yeah, every human can cry. We cry generally less as an adult. Yeah, because we've learned some regulation. But if we lose a loved one, we might well cry. Doesn't mean if you don't cry, because there are some people who can't and they're in shock. But if we lose a loved one, or we lose an animal, or something difficult happens to our children or to our spouses, we're going to be moved. I'm holding my own heart. I'm really aware of the fact that I'm holding my own heart right now because it's an emotional subject. I am containing and being with a felt and somatic experience of something really sad. I can resonate and image and picture children for whom this has been said to. It suggests, but it also teaches them that the emotion that they are having is wrong. And actually to a child that leads to, I am bad for experiencing it. I'm broken. There is something wrong with me and I must not experience this thing. And it may also teach them, if I'm going to remain in attachment to my caregivers, I need to not cry, because what I experience is I lose that unconditional love and that attachment from my caregivers if I cry. Best I don't do that then, because that's existential. As a 2-year-old or as a 1-year-old, if I am abandoned and I am not getting my needs met and I feel abandoned, that is an horrific existential experience. And so telling our children that they must not cry, or stop your silly crying, is invalidating their emotion instead of just going, they're crying about something. What is that? Whatever it is, it might seem silly or small to us, but it's like they've just dropped their favorite toy and it's broken, We just think, well, whatever, right? Try to be a child, when we think about that. And as you're listening to this, I wonder if you as an adult can actually kind of connect to your own inner child that goes, what if you were to? People say, oh yeah, but lots of times they'll be saying, that sounds like an adult talking to me. So the trauma that we're dealing with here was, there's a young part of you that had this experience. That's different, And it's that denial of the emotion, whether it be sadness or tears, and the distortion of, not only is it denied, but it's the consequences of, I will not be cared for, not be in relationship with my parent and my caregiver if I cry. There is something wrong with me. I am bad, I am broken, I am shameful, and all the sequelae that come from that physiologically. So, please, if there are any parents that still use that, probably because that was the way you were parented, so full compassion to anyone that's done it, But they're probably not watching this video, so the people watching this video are probably the people for whom this has been said. And to all of you, I'm sorry that you had that. But what we can do is trauma's not what happened to you, it's what happens inside your body in response to what happened to you. And so what we can do is we can look at that wound and we'll repair that wound and the consequences of it, which might be manifesting as fibromyalgia, chronic pain, relational challenges. Yeah, that's how it presents. But what's underneath may be some long narrative in the past of stop your silly crying. Hi, I'm Roger. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons.